With the UAB being such a culturally diverse campus, it is amazing how many people don't know about something that affects their everyday life.
Okay, do you know what human trafficking is?
People walking around? No.
Not quite.
Oh, right, yeah.
Do you know what human trafficking is?
I think the taking drugs, movement of drugs in the human body.
Okay. Well, that's your.
Are you aware of human trafficking?
Yes, I am.
Do you know what it is?
Yeah, it's like modern day slave trade.
Okay, high five. Sweet. Good job.
And do you know that it can affect your everyday life?
No. Do you know that human trafficking affects your everyday life?
No. Okay. And do you know human trafficking affects your everyday life?
No.
Have you heard of make-way partners and what they do?
No.
Have you heard of make-way partners, and if so, what do they do?
No.
Have you heard of make-way partners and what they do?
I have not.
Okay, do you have any questions?
What is human trafficking? Well, human trafficking is the recruitment, transportation, harboring, or receipt of people for the purposes of slavery, forced labor, and servitude. Actually, the total annual trafficking for trafficking in persons is estimated to be between $5 and $9 billion. The Council of Europe states that people trafficking have reached epidemic proportions over the past decade, with a global annual market of about $42.5 billion. Trafficking victims typically are recruited using coercion, deception, fraud, the abuse of power, or outright abduction. Threats, violence, and economic leverage, such as debt bondage, can often make the victim consent to exploitation. The organization that we are documenting is the Make-Way Partners. They are a non-profit organization that is located in Birmingham, Alabama, that focuses on finding ways to minimize the epidemic that is human trafficking. Make-Way Partners' primary focus is the prevention of trafficking in humans from the countries of origin, while educating and mobilizing the body of Christ in the countries of destination and transit. Now let's hear from the people that make Make-Way Partners possible and help fight against human trafficking on a daily basis.
With a commitment to stamp out modern-day slavery, Make-Way Partners uses two criteria as a basis for which to select places of ministry. Number one, where women and children, particularly orphans, are most vulnerable to human trafficking, forced prostitution, or other forms of severe oppression. Secondly, where it's either considered too expensive, too remote, or too dangerous for most people to go. We've all heard it said before that the only thing necessary for evil to prevail is for good men and women to do nothing. With high levels of accountability, including financial transparency, committed staff with on-the-ground experience, solid ongoing discipleship, and strong indigenous leadership, Make-Way Partners is strategically positioned and committed to be the orphan care network for the forgotten orphans of the world, the ones in lawless lands, war zones, and other undesirable locations, places where it's thought it can't be done. Today I ask you to consider what you have: time, money, a missionary call, a gift for public speaking, fundraising, or organizing events. Then contact us today to become a good man or a good woman who does not do nothing.
The Make-Way Partners Child Sponsorship Program is a unique program in that we are providing complete care for orphans who have witness the murder, the rape, the enslavement of their parents and their family members, and they're totally alone in Sudan. A lot of them, most of them, who are not part of our program are forced to sleep in trees at nighttime to avoid hyena attack or wild dog attack. Or just the elements. Sudan is a harsh environment for children to be unprotected in that they have no housing, no food. There was a child named Peter who told us once that when he was younger, before he lived in our orphanage, he and a bunch of boys would follow a wild dog and provoke the wild dog to kill something, and then they would chase the wild dog off so that they could eat what the wild dog had killed. At 7 years old, that's a harsh reality. Survival. It comes down to survival. And the girls, the little girls that we care for, are at high risk of becoming young brides or prostitutes, house servants. And so it is our responsibility, it's our job to go and to rescue all that we can, one child at a time, and protect them from the reality of slavery in Sudan. The Make Way Partners Orphanage provides 24-hour security, housing for over 450 children. It provides 3 meals a day. It provides education, loving house parents, where these children have not had loving anyone since their parents have been killed. This is nurturing is an essential part to their care, and raising them up to be true leaders, that they have a voice and that their voice is important and that the world needs to hear their voice. And so we unite, people in the United States or all across the world. We have sponsors from Australia and England, global. It's a global uniting to care for these children. And so they become, the sponsors become family. We call our sponsorship program the Whalen and Malin, which is the Dinka, in the Dinka language means uncle and aunt. And they become a family for a child at risk, who was at risk, who's now safe in the orphanage. And so we unite families together, and where an orphan went from having no one, they now have 1 or 2 uncles or aunts, or a whole house full of nieces and nephews that are praying for them, that are providing the care that's necessary for their lives, and that are reaching out in love to them. And this is the most exciting part to me of this ministry, in that we are providing the care for those who are at risk. We're preventing slavery by inviting those who are at risk into a family. And this is our goal for throughout Sudan. We're not just stopping in our one orphanage. We are wanting to create an entire orphan care network throughout the south of Sudan, so that more children can be cared for and more children can be rescued.
When I was working at the university, or going to school at the university, I began to learn about Make Way Partners and the work that they do to end oppression and human trafficking. And after I finished the university, I joined on board to help their CIS Character and Service Project. The CIS program is designed to provide education and practical opportunities for young people to build character and help people in Darfur, Sudan through their character. It is, the Character and Service program is both with schools and with churches. And even though we believe that character and Christianity go hand in hand, the program in and of itself is not Christian. I think the main thing that this program helps me to see is that our character matters, and a lot of times people my age, we kind of forget about others in the process and don't realize who we are changes those around us, and every choice that we make makes a difference, and we can change the world one child at a time.